$500,000 will not be enough for my honey and I to retire. So we're going to talk about that today. But first, my name is Shalise. Welcome. I am 41. I am a mother, wife, and worker bee. And I'm documenting our journey here on YouTube so that I can inspire all of you to get started on your own journey and so that we can get to financial freedom together. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, and beware of scammers and fake pages. And let's get into this, okay? So I do have my notes down here. I have my iPad right there. You can see a little screen there. That way I can kind of do this without any edits because I don't really do these types of videos. And because the kids are out of school, you know, shout out to all the parents who, you know, the kids are on summer vacation. And so this will give me a chance to like really have conversations about the in between when it comes to why we are investing and building shares and trying to reach our dividend income goals for my husband and I. So I need you guys to remember that every topic you hear me talk about is for my husband and I. It's personal. It's not like some broad base, like everybody should do this, things like that. Personal finance is personal. And I think it's good to give you guys a lot of the in between, the behind the scenes of why my husband and I invest and do what we do, right? So that way you can kind of, you know, be like, oh, I get it now. I see why they're doing that. Things like that. Okay. So I have my thing here. So $500,000. It is a great milestone. Even $100,000, heck, even $50,000 is a great milestone when you are trying to prepare for retirement. It is something that Lord willing, all of us will experience, right? If you plan on getting old, you need to be thinking about this. But more so, what will retirement look like for you? And it's so important to make sure that you are figuring this out for yourself. We have so much information on social media and our real life that we don't really sit down and think about our own, like, you know, what will it look like for us? We kind of just base it off of what other people say. So that's why I'm a big fan of you got to do the work. You got to actually figure out what will your portfolio and maybe real estate, dividend income, overall retirement will look like for you, because it's different for everybody. I can tell you that $500,000 will not be enough for us because 41 years old. So if you do some quick fuzzy math, to get full benefits from Social Security, as of now anyway, you have to be 67 years old, right? Or maybe it's 67 in some months, but 67 years old. So if I'm starting at age 41, well, not starting, but if I'm currently 41, that's 26 years left that, according to the government, we need to be working, right, to get full benefits. Now, if you want like partial benefits, I think the earliest you can start is 60, right? But most people want their full benefits. So we're going to go with 26 years. That's a long time. I have no desire, no plan. And my husband will attest to the same thing. For another 26 years? Nah, no way. No. So one reason why we need more is because if I'm looking at, and there's a lot of great channels that are investing or that retired with 500K. There's a lot of great channels that retired with less than 500K, even on like TikTok and Instagram, even in real life, a lot of people that retire on less. But the key point is that they are currently retired. I have, again, 20 some odd years left. So the value of the dollar today will not be the same 20 some odd years from now. Purchasing power. Inflation is a very real thing. So you need to think about that. If you have 10, I would say 10 plus years left until you reach retirement, right? Is that the dollar, you know how back in the day, if you had older folks in your life like I do, they will always tell us back in the 70s, the 80s, even how much bread used to cost, how much drinks used to cost, a gallon of gas, how much houses used to cost. It was always so cheap. It was always like they were reminiscing about the good old days. And I find myself saying some of the same stuff to my daughter, who will be 20 this year, about when I got my first apartment. I paid $645. I had a 1-bedroom apartment that was in the suburbs. I had a parking space. Laundry was in the basement, and it included heat, right? So when she was hearing me tell her that, she's like, oh my goodness, you got all of that for $645? Yes. Because now at her age, a 1-bedroom apartment just with the same criteria I had is easily like $1,800. So again, the purchasing power is going to be less. So again, one reason why 500K is not enough is that we still have 20 plus years for the dollar to continue to dwindle and inflation to continue to increase. Things are just going to cost more. And let's say we got $2,000 a month in Social Security, right? In 20 plus years, that's not going to be enough to do anything. So we know that ahead of time. We face the facts. We've had our come to Jesus moment. So now we can actually put the work in now. We don't want to wait till we get there, or we're getting close to it and now we're trying to scramble and put things together, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing is that longevity and income security. I can tell you right now, I've mentioned it before, is that job discrimination is a real thing. If you are walking into a job, let's back up. Let's say you got fired. You were laid off, right? You took a sabbatical, whatever the case may be, from your job. And you are now in your 40s, like my husband and myself. It is much more difficult to get a new job unless you know somebody within the industry and you can kind of network and get in, which thank God we do. But it is much harder to transition, to get into a new field when you're in your 40s. It is a very real thing. So the reason why we need more is that it's going to take us longer to get into a new job because people or companies want younger people. They want people who will cost them less at the end of the day. If you have somebody in your 40s, especially for women, we got to start getting mammograms. We got to start getting this and that. In your 40s, you got to start getting your colonoscopy and all of that. That's going to cost the company more money. So we realize, you know what? To have just some security around the income, and so that that income can last us longer in case you just cannot find another job at the end of the day because of age. Then we know that, on the back end, because we planned for more than 500K, it'll be okay. And again, I'm talking about just my husband and I. It's not like one end all be all for everybody, but just giving you guys some thinking behind why my husband and I are just hitting the ground running with being better with our finances, right? And then lastly, in terms of why 500K won't be enough, is just emergency protection. Again, we have to plan for more years because if we don't want to retire at the traditional age, we want to retire early. So that's more years that this money got to last us, right? So we're not even talking post Social Security. We're talking about up until Social Security. So you're talking about a good 15 years at least. Things happen, okay, with the house, with the car. The kids are growing up. So let's say my daughter, let's say she's out of college. She's running into some financial hardships. Of course, as her parents, we want to help her out. And we don't want that to be a strain on us. Let's say, because we're involved a lot in our church. Let's say the church needs something done. Let's say somebody in our family needs something, or we have our younger nieces and nephews going off to college and they need money for books and to decorate their dorm. We want to be able to step in and do some things like that without it being a strain on us. So again, we're thinking not just about us, but our surroundings, our support system, our family, our communities, and just Murphy Law, what can go wrong will, that's just par for the course. That's life. Things are going to happen. Cars will break down. You will need to get another car. Medical emergencies, God forbid. You still need to pay your bills, things like that. So we are striving for more. Again, we celebrate each milestone. That's why I'm always tracking everything in my investment planner book, spreadsheets, because it allows us to see we're on the right track, right? I think it's actually using money the way that it should be used, which is as a tool, right? Our money works for us. We do not work for it. Once the paycheck comes, that's the extent of working for it. After that is working for us in different places, investments, real estate, pre-IPOs or private investing that we now do because we're accredited investors, pouring into our children, things like that. Those are the things that I think, are the supports behind us. So yeah, it's not going to be enough for us because we're not retired now. Right? I have to really think about my own timeline. How many years do I have left versus how many years do someone else have left, or are they currently retired? It's not the same thing. It's not comparing apples to apples. We will need more just because of the cost of living. It's just going to cost more in 20 plus years. And that little Social Security that they're going to give us, if they give us any, and if they give us any, it's going to be very, very small. Let's say $2,000 in 20 plus years. Can you imagine what, things will cost? Yeah. So again, though we'll be grateful to get anything, on the back end, we'll have some type of peace of mind because we put in the work while trusting God and believing that He'll continue to grow things. But again, faith without works is dead. You gotta do something too. So let me know down below, what is your, you don't have to be exact, but what is your retirement goal? Is it 100K, 500K, $1 million, 2 million, 5 million? Let me know down below, because I love having conversations with you guys about how you're thinking. What's your thinking behind why you're doing all this investing, why you're building up your shares, why you're aiming for $500 a month in dividend income, why you're aiming for $10,000 every quarter in dividend income, because at the end of the day, you're going to need this number to sleep good at night. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to head out of here, and I'll see you all in my next one. Subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Ciao.